I had a heart attack August 2 years ago, 24th. I've always asked for, blood work. I'm trying to learn more about the blood work, HDL, LDL. So I had an echocardiogram and a nuclear stress test, and then 2 months later I had a heart attack. And they said that everything was good. So I've been learning about Function Lab, online and stuff like that. Trying to figure out, get deeper into my blood work, ApoB, homocysteine, check deeper instead of the LDL, just get on a statin. I still had a cholesterol. I've been on statin for years, on like 20, 30 years. I've been on, still at it, but I was very big, 300 pounds. So then I had the heart attack, and I was, I got a friend up in Maine. I used to be up in Wells, and he told me about this place, and then I just said, let me pop in and find out about doing deeper blood work dive. That's where it started. So.
All right. So it was a friend referral. Some people are like, oh, I saw an ad, but
yeah, he doesn't go here, but he must have been looking it up too. The same thing, an older guy, my age.
Interesting.
Saying like a functional lab. Then I checked into it, and I just said, I'm gonna just do it.
All right.
So I did it.
I guess like coming up, you said you had a heart attack. You wanted to lose some weight. What were some other like challenges that you were having in your everyday life?
I love food. So,
okay.
Bad food. Sweets, junk. So that was my biggest challenge. And being on a statin, your LDL numbers like low, so you're like, oh, I'm good, but you're not really good.
Yeah.
So food is my passion. I love food. So basically, I've cleaned up. Lost 70 pounds, and seeing Colin been good.
Is he Colin D's or Nard?
Colin D's.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both awesome. I'm saying one's awesome, like the other one isn't.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah, I watch a lot of the podcasts and stuff like that with you guys, peptides, and so he put me on a testosterone, and I go to the gym. I'm like dedicated now that I've seen results. And I've been on a peptide with him. And
do you know which one?
CJC 1295 and Barella.
Cool.
Plus the testosterone. He checks my thyroid, so he checks everything that's got to do with your cholesterol. Is the way I see it. I'm learning as I'm going too.
It's so interesting how much they're finding out about cholesterol too. How like the studies are changing, and like what is good cholesterol, what is bad cholesterol, what does high cholesterol mean as you get older, right? And I can say this because I also listen to a lot of the podcasts.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're always like finding out new information, and that's always really interesting that they stay up to date.
Right.
Personal thing.
Yeah.
But so your first visit here, or your first interaction with MedMatrix, you got online, you booked a discovery call. Do you remember anything about that call?
I don't really remember. I remember coming in, doing my blood work. I come from Mass, all the way up here, so I checked it out. That seemed like a right fit. And
it was?
Yeah, it is so far, considering, I was showing pictures,
So what about that, getting your blood drawn? How was that experience? And then also that InBody scan?
I love the InBody scan. We just, did it again, and there's great improvements, so that's good. Blood draws, cakewalk. Because with my regular doctor, I did it every 3 months, and they, just check it, the basics, lipids, not dive deep into your other lipids.
Cool.
And
was there any interaction with our team that you remember?
Nope, everybody's been really nice, The lady at the front desk there, she's always knows me when I walk in. She's like, hi, Charlie, and
awesome.
Yeah, so it's good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then what about that first visit? Is there any way that you felt going into that visit, first coming out, like that first visit with your provider, with Colin?
Nope, it was exciting, just getting some other information, diving deeper into, your blood work, your hormones, and everything else. I like that, and then, as I start researching and looking at other stuff, I did do the weight loss shot, the GLP, GIP. Yeah. Gave me the edge because I love food. So. How
was your experience, if you don't mind me asking, with the GLP one?
It was a little tough at first. It was when I was low dose, so it was no problems. When I got up to the high dose, then if I ate something bad, like a burger, I knew it. It wasn't pretty.
Okay.
Yeah. But otherwise it's been good. It's definitely pull you off the, get that noise out of your head, because I love food.
It is really incredible what they do. Just full body experience. It's kind of crazy.
And then you just, you want to get off everything eventually, but, it just helps you get over that thing, and then you make changes, and you feel good, and you want to keep going that.
So your treatment plan, how has that kind of been? Seeing the results and going from first coming here to experiencing, I'm seeing results. You know what I mean? So how was that, process for you?
It was, good. I was just, excited to just do it and stay on that, that track. I do cheat. Again, we love food. So I, have my days where I'll have something, but then I try to get right back into it, and get into the, the gym. I try to walk every day. I try to, we walk at work. There's a group of us. We all go out at lunch and walk almost 2 miles, come back and eat lunch. We do it right through the winter, for the most part, so.
We should get on that. We should start doing that.
Yeah, so it's just like a quick walk, and then they say after you eat, walk 10, 15 minutes for your blood sugars and stuff like that. It helps. I try to, but not at nighttime.
Can't be perfect,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so what are some of the biggest changes that you've noticed?
For my body shape or?
In general, it could be, some people say, you know, like along with losing weight, their energy or their sleep or their routine.
Right. I try to keep my sleep, like going to bed at the same time every night. Maybe not so much the weekend. My energy is like I'm just like go. I just constantly moving, doing things now. Before I was just like sit on the couch and doze off. So my energy is better. I try to go to the gym 5 o'clock in the morning. I try to get it out of the way early, and I feel I can see myself get stronger as I'm going, which then you see some results, and then you're excited about it. You just want to keep going.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you feel kind of about your health future? Sometimes you are trying to go to a whole bunch of doctors and get a bunch of tests, and it feels people feel very lost. They do a lot of testimonials.
Yeah.
So how do you feel kind of about you in the future and your health and caring for your body in your future?
I like to just keep going and be around for my kids, and that's the key thing. More active with them. We play pickleball. We do other stuff, golfing a lot, and I just want to pull it out there and see how long I go. Keep going, and this will be my regimen. Hopefully, forever until I can't walk no more.
That's a good regimen to have,
Yeah.
right? So let's talk about functional medicine. How would you describe functional medicine to somebody who has no idea what it is?
The blood work, rather than a regular doctor that just does your basics, getting all your biomarkers and digging deep into the root cause of your problem. I tell everybody it's just worth it to go full blood work, because everything, your hormones and your thyroid and everything else affects your cholesterol and affects everything. So dig into it, learn about it, try to get it figured out, and see if it helps.
Right.
So.
And what about somebody who is on the fence about functional medicine? Like if somebody, I don't know if I want to go here.
I would say, bite the bullet and give it a shot, because it will change your life, considering.
Awesome.
I see people at the gym, I'm like, I just want to go over and talk to them and just say, hey, some, big guys where I was, like I had that big visceral fat belly, and just say, hey, you can dig into it, blood work,
Cool.
See what it is.
And is there anything else that you feel like you want to add? I asked all my questions.
I think that's about it, I guess.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this.
No problem.